Hi, I'm Tom Stevenson, and I'm part of the Mull Galloway Angling Festival Committee, and today we're going to have a little chat about transducer placement. Those are now looking and thinking that why can a man who can't switch his mobile phone on and off can actually give advice on a piece of technical equipment? And it is a good question, to tell you the truth, but we'll just move on anyway. First of all, we wanted to is about expectations of a fish finder in your transducer. Most of the videos that you see, most of the screenshots in the glossy magazines are taken in 20 foot of fresh water with the lake as flat as a witch's tit. Whereas most of us as boat anglers, whether we be in the Irish Sea, the North Sea or the English Channel, are facing 15 mile an hour southwesterly wind against the tide, and you have to build your expectations around that fact. If we look at the transducer, the head unit, of the units, right, we'll just have a little chat about them before we go on to the transducers. If you think about the head units and the screens as being a television set at home, and you're watching a crap program, you can pick up your handset, you can change the volume, you can change the contrast, you can change many things, but what you can't change is the fact that it's a crap program. And the signal that's coming from your transducer, if it's no good, that's exactly what you'll get on the screen. So we'll go around now and we'll have a look at the transducers. It's a held belief, held by me for 17 years, that the best side of your boat to have the transducer on is the right hand side as we look at it from the back. And the reason being that I was told and kind of accepted was that because your prop shaft is going clockwise, then it'd be less turbulence on that side. Well, actually that's not quite true, because if you think about it, most of the turbulence coming from your prop is actually thrust and is going away from the boat, and your transducers are in fact behind that. So actually the difference between what side it's on is very minimal and probably would never notice by anyone. So we now look at the transducer. When you take your transducer out the box, it's got a fitting bracket and the transducer itself. And what we intend to do is to show you where. Now on this boat, every boat hull is probably got a difference, but on this boat hull we've got a little bit of a ridge here and then going down, and we're trying to put the transducer in a position where she's going to get very clear and very little turbulence. Now if there's anything under your boat here that's going to cause that turbulence, that's not the best place. You want somewhere which is clean underneath here and going to cause no turbulence whatsoever. The thing we're going to do is we want to put a straight edge under the boat so that the transducer sits along the straight edge. It can be anything, but you want a straight edge. So when you're coming to fit it, you put your transducer, fix it onto your mounting plate. The mounting plate has adjustable slots in it. You put that on your thing, you put your straight edge under the boat, and it should sit like that on the straight edge. You mark that position. I would strongly suggest at this time that you have two people to give you a hand, and also once you've marked it the first time is to go away, have a cup of coffee and come back to it and do it exactly the same before you actually drill any holes. So that's your transducer there, your straight edge right straight under the boat, and your transducer should sit on the top of it. If you notice this one I did already, you'll see that it's a perfect slide. And that way what's happening is that if you drop your transducer down like that and fit it like that, which we see a lot of transducers fitted, the water's going to hit that, it's going to cause turbulence around it, and those turbulence and bubbles will show up on your screen. So once you've decided it is, you've had a cup of tea, come back, redo it all again, make sure that it's in the correct place, then you're going to have to drill holes. Now you have to remember you're drilling below the water line. And before you put your screws in, you have to use a sealant and glue, and you want to use plenty of it in the pile of tools that you drill. This one is 3M. Now I can tell you there is other makes on the market and they're crap. 3M is without doubt the best below waterline sealant that you can buy. Okay. Right, we're now out at sea, and what we're going to do is we're going to find out our ideal trolling speed. Now, by trolling speed, what we mean is that's the speed that if you see something, a reef, or you want to have a closer inspection, or you're going looking for a wreck or something, that's the speed that you're going to go at to find it. The optimum speed for that on most systems that are available is somewhere between 6 and 7 miles an hour. But when you decide what speed you're going to use, that's the speed you have to use all the time when you're trolling, looking for your object. If you decide that you're going to set your speed, like we're going to show you in a minute, say it's 7 miles an hour, and then you decide to go at 8 miles an hour, that 1 mile an hour will change the degree angle on your transducer by 0.5, and that will affect the image that you get on your screen. You want to, when you're doing this, have your boat loaded in the manner that you would normally have it loaded. Say 2 people, the anchor, in my case I have it in a basket, in the position you have it. Have everything just as you would have it to normally fish with. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to go up, we're going to go at 7 miles an hour. Today out of Logan here, it's a typical day in the UK. It's been predicted at 7-8 mile an hour, and in fact it's 15, and that's what happens. But we're going to try our best. It would have been even better if you can have a totally flat sea to carry out this operation, but we're going to have a go at it. We're going to pick a place on the boat where we're going to use our spirit level. Now that place you want to know, because you're going to have to come back to it. So in this case I'm going to use this stainless steel stanchion here, so I know that when I get back to land, that bubble, that will be my place to put my spirit level for my bubble. And I'm now going to go to my 7 miles an hour. Level, and what we need to do is we need to put coins underneath the level until we get the bubble perfectly in the middle. And we're just about there now with one more coin. We're just about there now. Now what you've got to do is you've got to keep your coins that you've leveled with separate, right? The next part now, we're back on dry land. We take the boat off the car, off the hitch, and we go back to our boat. So now the boat's unhooked from the car. So we go back to the position you've chosen. This is the best position, but because it was a bit bumpy out at sea today, I put a mark on my buoyancy plate. That's the front there. And as you can see, the bubble, you put the coins that you used out at sea there, right? And now I'll go around to the jockey wheel and adjust it until that bubble is right in the middle. And now you can see we've got the perfect bubble in the middle. So what this boat is now is as level as it was when we were running at 7 miles an hour out at sea. So we'll go around the back now to the transducer to finish off. Right, we put our spirit level on our transducer. We move at the spirit level until the bubble is right in the centre, and your transducer is now in the perfect position. At that angle that the transducer is in is exactly the angle it was when we were trolling at 7 miles an hour. I hope the information's been useful. It's far better on a very calm day to do it, but we tried our best today. I'd like to say to you to go to the Mull Galloway Sea Angling Festival Facebook pages. Unfortunately, as most know, we had to cancel our competitions due to COVID-19. Because we've incorporated a new technology in score fishing, it's allowed us to carry out maybe 2 competitions and keep within the guidelines as listed out. So there will be very or no social contact at the competitions. Please go to the pages on Facebook, you'll get all the information. Thank you all, and from all the committee in Mull Galloway, stay safe.